Hello and good morning, learners. In today's English class, I'll be guiding you through two of your stories from the Supplementary Reader Book of English. Please note that when I say supplementary, it means that it's an extra book, which means the chapters in there are specifically for your reading and not to be greatly explained by the teacher. A lot happens and that goes around in the story that you have to read. And if you think you're not going to give much attention to the reading of those stories, please don't do that, because you'll get a substantial amount of marks on your board papers from that book. Please make sure that you read the stories. You will also read the stories that I'm going to describe today. I'll just give you the basic summary, but you on your part have to read both the stories, which will help you understand the summary. And of course, the question answers that are very easy to answer once you've read the text. So the chapter that we have are Midnight Visitor and A Question of Trust. The first one is The Midnight Visitor, written by Robert Arthur. This is a scene from that story. You have right on the center, you can see there's a fat man sitting. There's a man with a gun, and there's another man who's really surprised and not really comfortable with the gun being pointed at him. These three characters are important. The person sitting is a spy. The person with a gun is his rival, who is another spy, and the person standing with fright on his face and no guns is a writer, who is a friend of the man sitting on the chair. So the story is about a secret agent using presence of mind to outwit a rival agent. So basically, the agent sitting on the chair, his name is Ausible, and Ausible is a spy. The one with the gun is Max. He is his rival. They're enemies. They're both spies, but they work for different people. So Ausible was supposed to get some report, some information, some piece of paper inside that room that night, and that's a hotel room. But as Ausible and Fowler walked inside the hotel room, they suddenly saw Max was already there with a gun, and they got scared. Max wanted the information that Ausible had. Ausible was very smart. He did not say that I'm not going to give it to you. He did something else. And this is the story. This is the story about it. It's a very short story. So Ausible was a flat and fluffy spy, while Fowler was a writer looking for adventure. This story is about Ausible tricking a rival. Max had secretly got into the room. Max, the other one with the gun, had secretly got into the room before they arrived. Max wanted to get all reports from Ausible. Ausible did not panic. Instead of panicking the moment Max wanted the gun, he was like, oh my goodness, how did you come in? I knew you came in through the balcony under my window. So he kind of said a story that there's a balcony under his window through which he told to Max, you must have come. And he also said that I wanted the hotel management, to close the balcony, to shut it, because even last month, 2 people came into my house without my permission, into my room without my permission, not house, because it's a hotel room. And Max was really convinced there's a balcony. Now, this is something that really is important at the end of the story. Now, what happens is, as Max and Ausible are negotiating, you can very well imagine a movie scene. Ausible did not panic, okay, but acted as if Max might have come through the balcony. He said, "Oh my goodness, there is a weather. It was night time. The balcony was not actually there. Sorry, the balcony was not actually there. Okay." He said as if there's a balcony under his window, and Max kept on asking, and suddenly there was a knock on the door. Ausible said, using his presence of mind, that that is the police. The police have come. Max immediately said, okay, you do one thing. You ask the police to leave, or I'll shoot and kill you. Saying this, Max went out through the window. Okay, and since he was told by Ausible that there was a balcony, now please do note that Max had actually come. Max said he had entered using a passkey. Passkey is more like a master key. He said he got inside the room using a passkey. He did not come in through the balcony. But now he knew there was a balcony right under the window where he could have hidden. Max, who wanted to hide himself from the police, went out of the window, and as they went, Osable and Fowler went to open the door. Immediately, they heard a sound as if someone is falling. There's a shrill ah kind of sound. They opened the door. There was no police. It was room service. Room service had brought them, drinks and glasses. This is what happened. And then ultimately when Fowler asked, "Hey, what happened?" Sorry. When Fowler asked Possible, "Hey, what happened? I just heard a sound as if someone just fell." Possible said, "There is no balcony. There never was no balcony. It was a waiter, and Max had fallen off." Max believed that there was a balcony underneath, just trying to hide himself from the police. He fell off. This is the story. It's very simple. Please read it to enjoy the story. The first question. Looking back at this story, when do you think Osable thought up his plan of getting rid of Max? I would think the moment he saw Max. When did Osable think of getting rid of Max? Immediately when he saw Max. He was very quick to talk about the balcony thing. Do you think he had worked out his plan in detail right from the beginning? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. How can someone have so much presence of mind? How could he just immediately come up with a solution? Maybe he knew it from before. Maybe yes, it was a plan. Then he saw the situation, or do you think he made a plan taking advantage of the events? It's your choice. You can write your own answer. Now, this is a question from the CBSE board. Please make sure you write the question and the answer on your notebook and upload the pictures. You are disillusioned. Osable told him, blah, 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 blah. In that thought, a drama, is there not? In the thought is drama, is there not? CBC 2015. Who is my young friend? Obviously, the young friend is Fowler. What is the important paper? The important paper is what Osable was going to get from someone else, which Max had come to, not steal, snatch from him. Find a word from the passage that means disappointed. I can see it. Also starts with D. Opposite of important. Use the dictionary. Another question. You can get into the room, get into it from the empty room, but they haven't. This is the part where Osable actually tricks Max. Who is speaking in these words to whom? Osable is speaking to Max. It is the balcony. Close up. I can see what close up. It's written over here. Find a phrase in the passage that means the same as close it up. I can see it. Opposite of empty. Use a dictionary. Moving forward to the next question. It's called next chapter. It's called A Question of Trust, written by Victor Canning. This is another very simple story of one. This is very similar to the previous one. Here we have a story of one thief outwitting another thief. This is a story of this thief and this thief. Okay. Horace Dunby was a man who was a professional locksmith, but he stole only once in a year. Why? To buy precious and rare books. So one time he planned to, steal from a house where there were no people. They had left to a different city. Even the, people who worked in the house, even they were not there. The moment he walked inside the house, he was sneezing because there were flowers, and there were fresh flowers inside the house. Maybe the workers had kept it. The housekeepers had kept the flowers. And Horace Dunby, the main character, he has, what do you say? He has allergy from the pollen that flowers give out, and he was sneezing out loud. And suddenly from the back, someone said, "Oh, you're here to steal. You should go to this doctor because of your sneeze." And he did not expect anyone inside the house. That was the scariest part. So he was worried that he's getting caught. He's going to, be given off to the police. So he really convinced that person, the woman, which we just see, who he thought, or the woman also claimed, "I am the mistress of the house. I just came in early. Okay, I'm unexpected. I just came in early." And she said, "Okay, I won't give you off to the police, but you have to do something." Horace said, "What? I'll do anything." Not to, because he's caught, right? I mean, he was caught stealing. He said, "Okay, I'll
You'll have to help me open this safe. The same safe which Horace had come to break, to take jewelry out of it. Horace was said, I have to break the same safe that I came to steal. Why? She said, I am the owner. I have forgotten the password. Okay. I need my jewelry for a party in the evening. I've forgotten the password. This is what she says. So Horace was convinced. He took off his gloves. He opened the lock and he went away. 3 days later, the police came to his house and caught him for stealing. Why he was caught? This is what you have to read and find out. But I'm going to say it nonetheless, although this will kind of be a spoil sport. It will spoil the fun. So basically, the other woman who he saw inside the house, who said, I am the wife and I have forgotten the lock, was another thief. She also, so this is a story of two thieves coming inside the same house at the same time. And the one thief outwitting the other. The woman lied to Horace. So it was a young woman who Horace met inside the house. She was never the owner. He later got to know it was an older woman, about 60 years of age, who was actually the owner of the house. Remember, he took off his gloves, and then when he broke the safe, he left fingerprints because he thought, hey, this is the owner. Because of those fingerprints, he was caught later on. That's basically it. A thief who goes inside a house to steal gets conned, gets cheated by another thief. He never got to know who conned him. Read the story; it's very interesting. Uh, board questions. How did Flowers hinder Horace in his work? Now, Flowers hindered means created problems, stopped him. This is because Horace had a allergy problem with the pollen in the flowers, and as he was trying to do his work, he constantly kept on sneezing. That's what stopped him. Okay, and that could have given an opportunity to the other thief to speak to him. Horace Danby was good and respectable, but not completely honest. Yes, he worked as a locksmith. He was not a professional thief, but he was not completely honest because he stole once a year for his peculiar habit. 15 years ago, Horace served his first and only sentence in the prison library. He loved rare and expensive books, and secretly bought the books he loved through an agent. This is the initial part. What does Horace like to collect? Horace liked to collect rare and expensive books. Why does he steal every year? Horace was an honest, was an okay man. Okay, he was respected, but he was not completely honest because this is the part. He stole every once a year because he wanted some extra money to buy his expensive books. C and D are vocabulary tests. Please note that even in the literature part, your vocabulary would be tested. Which word in the above extract means the same as with a lot of alertness? What is strange in the passage? The strange thing in the passage is Horace's choice of buying the most peculiar books. So these are the questions, these are the stories, this is the summary. Whatever I do from my part, remember, unless you've read this story, none of it makes sense. You may come back to the video after reading the stories. Please make sure you write the questions and the answers up on time and submit them on time. That's all. Thanks for watching.